More reaction to reporter Natasha Phiri. Natasha, thank you so much. Reaction on your side.
Thank you so much, Natasha. Of course, it's SABC News. We've been on top of the story all morning and last night in the evening, getting various reactions. As Samgelo was speaking to Sibongile Besani, I'm now joined by the ANC's national spokesperson, Mr. Pule Mabe. Mr. Mabe, first and foremost, your reaction to the Section 89 independent panel on this Phala Phala issue. Various political parties have labelled the report as scathing and have called for the head of the president.
Well, Natasha, we have a National Executive Committee that has been convened later today, this evening, to reflect on that. The ANC is an organization of process. So the role of the SGO, even through DIP, is to make sure that we give you an update. So it would help the SABC and all other media outlets to refer to DIP. Because I see, referring to the presidency and all other different units in the ANC, you are now wanting the ANC to communicate different messages. So the ANC has got a communications department. The ANC adopted protocols of communications. The ANC has got to be seen speaking in one voice. So that's why we are here. We work here every day full time to protect and defend decisions of the ANC. Talk on behalf of the leadership, the president, and until the last member of the National Executive Committee. That's our work. So we'll appreciate if yourselves also follow through that kind of protocol. We do not take away the responsibilities attached to cadres deployed in specific offices, but they're not spokespersons of those offices. So the spokesperson, I speak for the ANC. I don't speak for an office in the ANC. Okay. So if you have issues that you want to raise, because when you are talking, yes, but when you are talking to all of us, you are hoping that we can end up contradicting each other and project us as this organization that is not cohesive. That's the whole intention.
Mr. Mabe, let's go to the NEC meeting that will take place later on today. You know very well, some NEC members have publicly said that the president should step aside of this issue. There are others that are actually, defending him. Will we expect a showdown in the NEC meeting today? We can't preempt what's going to happen, but in light of what people have been saying out in the public.
Well, why should we have a showdown? Why should we have had very difficult, heavy-handed meetings of the National Executive Committee. They were never reduced to showdown. Cadres of the movement will use the NEC to reflect on the report and express their own views. The officials, which the president is a part of, will also be able to brief the National Executive Committee on their own discussions and then table before us whatever they may want us to consider.
Which leads me to my following question. Yesterday, the officials of the ANC met, all four men met over this issue. We are reliably told that although it was a brief meeting, they didn't touch the substance of the reports. We are told that they're going to meet again, then further brief the ANC. Can you perhaps tell us the outcomes of that meeting with those officials? Because remember, you would remember on Monday, Pule Mabe did confirm to the SABC, specifically our political editor, to say that this meeting would happen yesterday.
Well, because I'm not part of the national officials, I wouldn't know what they have discussed. I wouldn't want to preempt what they will table before the NEC. What is the use, Natasha, of us sitting National Executive Committee meetings when all of us will be knowing what is expected to be discussed? We are an organization of process. Let's respect that. You see, there is a temptation by some in the media and in the public to think that they can shout out in the street to try and dictate what must be the position and view of the ANC. If you are interested in imposing views in the African National Congress, we've got Congress now coming. You should have made yourself available through BGMs. So that today when Khalima announces names of the 200, we know that, okay, one of the journalists or one of the analysts has made it into those that must be part of the NEC. It's as simple as that. Allow the elected structure of the ANC, the National Executive Committee, to express itself when it meets. So we don't meet. So basically, if we were sitting to just go and agree in our meeting of the National Executive Committee, there would not be a need for us to meet. we're a dynamic body. You know, cadres hold strong views on this or that issue, including on the very issue that is most likely to be tabled. You know, cadres would raise their different strong views about the issue. You know, some of yourselves have brought the issue of the president stepping aside, arising out of what would have transpired. The ANC has not even received a report. It would be unfair for the African National Congress to express itself and place before the public a position unprocessed by its own structure. Doesn't happen. Doesn't work like that.
Remember, the president came in on a ticket of transparency, of accountability, of moral high ground.
Yes, true.
And now, what is this? What message is the ANC actually sending out to the public? And the perception of the ANC right now, you have a president who, you've got this dark cloud of Palapala that's hanging over the president. You've got this scathing report, as some have labeled it.
But Natasha, holding on to the moral initiative, something that all of us have committed to as the leadership of the African National Congress, does not mean that overnight headlines are now going to start dictating how we must run.
It's not overnight headlines, Mr. Mabe. Perception is everything.
Can I make? Because if perception is everything, perception is not an elected leader of the ANC.
It isn't.
Yes. So
but
now,
remember, your work as the ANC, your president said that I'm coming out to root out corruption, but yet you have a president who's embroiled in the scandal.
But if you ask 1 million questions and they are looking for an answer, and when we answer, you don't give us the space.
Okay.
How do you then expect us to clarify your viewers?
Please clarify us.
Okay. We did not forgo the moral initiative. None of the ANC leaders have done so. We are meeting as members of the National Executive Committee to receive a report. After receiving a report and having deliberated, we will rise in that NEC with a position. It will be that position which we deposit out in the public. And that position will be reflective of the stand the ANC has taken on this matter. By the way, one of the things that you need to appreciate is that the ANC is alive to the fact that the Phala Phala saga has had a negative effect on its public standing, on its reputation, on its credibility, on how much it is able to be accepted by the public. The ANC is on record as saying that. We did not hide ourselves from saying that. So anything that affects the credibility of the ANC, whether that matter involves the president of the ANC or the last member of Pule Mabe or any other person in the National Executive Committee, we express ourselves on those. When the issue of Phala Phala first came, the president volunteered to appear before the Integrity Commission so that he uses that platform to express himself on what he may or may not know as it relates to this. As we have said before, the National Executive Committee has not as yet received a report detailing that engagement between the Integrity Commission and the President. So it would be unfair to enter that space not having fully received even a report from an organizational process. Now there is a process that Parliament had set up. That process produced the Section 89 report yesterday, which we are now aware of. The report has been made public and all of that. It's not the dictate of the ANC on how Parliament should function. Parliament dictates and determines its own processes. It has done that work. The ANC will meet today to reflect on the outcomes of that report and the related recommendations. And after those reflections, the ANC would then say, this is the position or stand that the organization is taking on this report.
I know you can't preempt what's going to happen next week, Tuesday, but this matter is going to be voted on. Will members of the ANC toe the line and defend ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa?
Natasha, I think in your next life you must stand for election in the ANC. No,
I'm just asking. Mr. Mabe, these are the questions. No, but please, can I please also talk? These are the questions that the public need to know.
But you asked me a question, so when I'm trying to clarify.
But you can't say I'm a stand for ANC President.
Are you going to dictate to us how we must answer? You are asking a question, and the question that you are asking effectively places you as someone who is so interested in how an organization that has not even met can be able to dictate, to an extent of wanting the spokesperson of the ANC to now play a Holy Spirit role of thinking what members of the NEC who will be in that meeting will be able to arrive
Mr.
at.
Mabe, please understand that these are the questions that people are asking.
Yes.
Viewers at home are watching you right now.
Yes.
Viewers at home need to know what's going to happen. These are the questions, I mean, you know, on social media, you've heard the conversations on radio. People are asking these questions. It's not from me, but I mean, just drawing from the public sentiment outside.
Okay, that's fine. Let's now educate you and the public. Spokespersons of the ANC do not carry the duty to dictate or preempt what meetings of the ANC will be all about. That is not what we are appointed to do. We are appointed to communicate processes of organization, which is what we are doing. The information we are giving you is out in the public. We will have a special NEC today to reflect on the report that is out there, to demonstrate to you and the public that is interested on social media and everywhere else that we take these matters seriously. We were supposed to meet on the 9th. Upon the release of the report, officials deemed it necessary that we should meet as a matter of urgency, seeing that this report is also expected to be debated by Parliament in the next week, so that we can develop a view of the ANC around this. These are the points that I am making. You know, it might have sounded a bit distasteful earlier on, you know, but I was trying to make this kind of, drive this kind of a line. And if it appeared like that, it's a bit unfortunate. But the message I was trying to drive is that we will meet, we will deliberate, we will take a position of the ANC. The SGO, through our Treasurer General, would then be able to communicate what is the position of the ANC. What we don't do, Natasha,
Mr. Mabe,
is that
unfortunately,
we don't develop our own positions as we speak to the media. Like talk to you and then suddenly in the middle of an interview, develop my own decisions. I can't do that.
Mr.
It will
Mabe,
be indiscipline of me.
unfortunately, we've run out of time. Of course, we will catch up with you later on. There's also a briefing at 2 o'clock.
Yes.
And of course, that much anticipated NEC meeting that will be taking place this evening, of course, virtually, Natasha. Of course, as SABC News, we promised to give you rolling coverage in regards to this story.